Everyone's reading the Detroit Native Sun, even our competitors. We've got the best writers, best coverage, and best ad rates to draw new clients to your business. Advertise with us for as little as $35. All ads include a free design and will be featured in both our print version newspaper and online. Call today for a free price quote and take advantage of our specials. When you purchase any full or half page for 2 months, we'll give you the third month free. That's right, you can reach another potential 50,000 to 100,000 clients for free. After all, three's the charm in advertising. Call today at 313-457-5944 or email us at DetroitNativeSunNews@gmail.com or visit our website at www.DetroitNativeSunOnline.com. We're waiting for your call. 313-457-5944.
Welcome to Expose Under the Sun. I'm your host, Valerie Lockhart, publisher and executive editor of the Detroit Native Sun, a free community paper that seeks to enlighten the community with helpful news and information. You can also read us online at www.DetroitNativeSunOnline.com. We're here on Martin Luther King Day, and it's appropriate for us to have an activist in the studio. We hear a lot about Minister Malik Shabazz, Helen Moore, Aaliyah Moore, and other local activists, but not too many people know about our activists that we have on our stands on our stage today. Her name is Katrina Brown, and she has been activating for senior citizens as well as students in Detroit Public Schools. So we want to welcome Ms. Katrina Brown to the show. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And we want to get a little bit of background about you. You're a preacher's kid, is what I understand.
Yes, I am a PK kid. Born and raised here in Detroit, Michigan. And my father was the minister of the Christian Faith Baptist Church before he deceased in 1988.
Okay. And how did you get involved in activism?
Well, it started at a young age, just at the church, doing speaking engagements, standing up for what's right, helping senior citizens and some of our youth. So it started early on, as early as maybe 8 years old.
So how do you overcome your fears to be able to speak out when you see something that's going wrong?
Well, the biggest thing is the retaliation and the retribution, but if we see something, we're supposed to say something, so we have to put all that fear always to a side and know that we're doing
Everyone's
it for the
reading
betterment
the
of our
Detroit
society
Native
and
Sun,
for,
even
people
our
that we're fighting
competitors.
for. So just have
We've
to
got the
put
best
fear
writers,
behind you
best
and
coverage,
just
and
pray and
best
have
ad
faith
rates
and
to
move
draw
forward,
new
knowing
clients
that
to
you're
your
doing the right
business.
thing, and at the end, the
Advertise
reward
with
will
us
be
for as
yours
little as
from God.
$35.
Okay. And
All ads
you were
include a
a
free
teacher
design
in the
and
Detroit
will be
Public
featured
Schools
in
for
both
how many
our print
years?
version
Over
newspaper
20
and
years.
online.
Over 20 years. And
Call
give us
today
a little
for
bit
a
of
free price
background
quote
about
and
your
take advantage of
education
our specials.
and where you went to
When you
school and
purchase
got your
any
different
full or
degrees
half page
from.
for 2 months,
Well, I
we'll
went
give
to
you
school.
the third month
I started
free.
off in Alabama,
That's
which is a
right.
historical
You can
school,
reach another
HBCU,
potential
Miles
50,000
College.
to
And,
100,000
then after Miles
clients
College, I
for
went to the
free.
University of Alabama,
After
where I
all,
received a double
three's the
master's
charm in
degree.
advertising.
And then I went to
Call
took some
today at
classes over at Cambridge College, where I also received a degree in
313-457-5944
special
or email us
education.
at
So I've been in the education arena over 20-something years.
DetroitNativeSunNews@gmail.com
And I also have a
or visit our website
certificate in
at
leadership and administration also.
Okay, great. So you're very
www.DetroitNativeSunOnline.com.
qualified.
We're waiting
And
for your call.
when you started at the Detroit Public Schools, one of the things that you blew the
313-457-5944.
whistle on was regarding poor water quality. Tell us a little bit about that case.
Well, that happened between, I believe that was in 2016. I worked at a school called John R. King, and I noticed that the water that the students and the staff were drinking was yellow. It was, when you flush the toilet, it was yellow. When you drink, it was yellow. And we were not getting clean water. And it was very alarming to me. I noticed that the students were itching and scratching, and also I had symptoms. And then I went to the doctor and I found out that I had high levels of copper and lead in my system. And that's when I blew the whistle and I told the administration what was going on, and I told the water and sewage department, and that's how we started with the lead and the copper in the water that was affecting the students at Detroit Public Schools.
So did the administration react right away to correct the problem, or what did they do?
Not at first. It was a big cover-up with that, but after the government got involved and some of the activists, as well as myself, started speaking up, the media as well as the Detroit Native Sun speaking up and doing some advertising, we were able to hold the board and some of the top administrators accountable for what was going on with the students there. So yes, there was high levels of lead in water, lead and copper in the water, and over 50 schools had to be shut down. We had to get new water fountains and things of that nature is what caused me to really be starting to look around and telling people if you see something that you need to say something, that we do need to stand up for what's right for our students and for our staff at Detroit Public Schools.
Well, we want to congratulate you for being courageous to be able to speak out, and you helped to eliminate a lot of health problems for both the teachers and the students that were drinking that water.
Correct.
And now I understand that you were working with disabled kids or mentally impaired kids as well. Correct. Give us a little bit of background about you switching over. You were a science teacher before?
Yes, I was a science teacher for maybe over 15 years with Detroit Public Schools. I've taught a variety of subjects all throughout, but science was one of my main jobs. And I went over after that. After I blew the whistle, I was retaliated against, and I was transferred out of John R. King, and I was sent to several schools. The last school that I ended up with was at Moses Field School. It's a school for students that have special needs. Most of the students there, they have multiple disorders as far as they can't speak, they can't see, can't walk, and can't talk. And I noticed that some things were going on there, that the students were being abused physically as well as mentally, but more physically. Students were being drugged down the hallway. They were being choked. They were being isolated. And I alerted the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
And I understand they were also being strapped in what do you call them, Ripton chairs?
In Ripton chairs. For hours of the day, they were being strapped down. They couldn't move. They were just being restrained, which was, it's against the law. They were being sit there for hours in their own feces, in their own urine, and I blew the whistle on that.
Okay, and the administrators or the teachers, they saw the little boy. One little boy was being dragged down the hallway by his feet, and his head was just hitting the floor back and forth. And they're watching. Why wouldn't they speak up and, try to stop the teacher that was dragging the little boy?
I'm not sure why they didn't, because we're all mandated reporters and we're supposed to. But there is a fear of being retaliated against, and if you say something, you are, put on the back burners. I would say you get retaliated against, you might lose your job, as that is what happened to me. You go to a teacher retention center, and the district, it's like a witch hunt. You become, a victim if you stand up and do the right thing.
So when you reported the abuse to the administrators, what was their response?
They tried to cover it up. And Michigan Department of Health and Human Services stepped in. There was a Detective Kelly Taylor. She took time out. She came in and she watched the videos, and we were able to show what was going on at the school. Eventually, the board did, after maybe, let's say, 4 months, the board was able to step in, and we did get the principal was eventually fired. However, the assistant principal, she received a slap on the wrist, maybe a 2-week suspension, but she was also charged with endangering the safety of lives of students, because she was also restraining students in the Rifton chair for numerous hours of a day, and students were getting spanked. Things of that nature is what was happening over at Moses Field.
Right. In the Detroit Native Sun, we did publish pictures of the assistant principal pushing a child that was not supposed to be in one of those chairs down the hallway. And she tried to say that we altered the pictures, photoshopped them to put her in there, but no, it was clearly her.
Yes.
So a lot of criminal charges have been filed against some of the parapros.
Absolutely.
One parapro, when I researched it, she got, I think, 3 years probation, and then the judge dismissed it, released her early, so she only served 1 year of probation.
Oh, wow.
And these are kids that they're actually putting physical hands on, and kids cannot scream out because they can't talk. So I was wondering why the judge would even reduce her charges down to like a misdemeanor charge instead of a felony. Wouldn't you think that she would be in jail for?
Absolutely shouldn't be able to ever, be around children again. And that's why we're asking the community, and we're asking other activists, to stand up, to speak up, to say something, and let's if we're not there for our students and for our kids, who will be there for them? So we're just asking anyone at any school district, if you feel that your child or you know of a child that's being neglected physically, physical abuse, or even educational neglect, if they have an IEP and their IEP is not being met, which is an individualized educational plan, if students are not getting the services, physical therapy, occupational therapy, extra reading time, anything that they need, we're asking you to call Spectrum Legal Services because they're part of our legal team, and they are also activists, and they will help you. They will lead you the way, and they will put that fight on for you in court, and they will give your child, your student, the justice that they need. We know there's a lot of things going on right now inside of Detroit Public Schools. We have certain administrators that are physically abusing students, allegedly, and if you feel that your child has been a victim of any type of abuse, please call Spectrum Legal Services. They are in Southfield, Michigan, and that's attorney Michael Fortner. Michael Fortner.
Yes, and attorney Michael Fortner has taken a lead in bringing a lot of these cases to court.
Yes.
And as a result, the district has settled with a lot of them as well, from what I understand.
My understanding also. But it is still a major cover-up.
Right.
The district is not saying a lot of things, but we would like to hold Dr. Vitti and the board, accountable for things that are happening within the district as far as the molestation of students, as far as the educational neglect, the physical neglect. Our students deserve better, not only in Detroit Public Schools, but across Michigan. If you see something, we're asking teachers, we're asking activists, we're asking everyone to say something and to help out. The dream must go on. Dr. King had a dream, and this was part of his dream for all students to have a great education, be able to read and write, and to be treated equally.
Right. And I understand that Dr. Vitti has just been approving of all these terminations of whistleblowers like yourself.
Absolutely.
And the board has been rubber stamping them without even reading the documents. So how do we hold them accountable for their actions in approving this? That means if they're rubber stamping it, they're showing their approval, in a sense, that they agree, that the kids, it's okay to abuse the kids or to mistreat them and to get rid of people that blow the whistle. So what can we do to stop them from rubber stamping?
Well, basically, we need to hold Dr. Vitti accountable as well as our board, the members that are Dr. Vitti's boss. The board is the boss, and we need to start calling all of our board members, asking them to do the right thing. When they were put in office, just hold them accountable and make Dr. Vitti, he basically must go. Too much has gone on. He's too comfortable. And he has a higher staff, and what they do is they cover up a lot of things that are going on. And if parents don't say anything, if activists don't say anything, nothing will be done. And students to this day are still being neglected, abused, educationally, and as far as physically. So we must say something.
Right, and we have to get the right people on the board.
Absolutely.
Like Aaliyah Moore, because she's very outspoken. She's not afraid to speak up or to face Dr. Vitti.
Aaliyah Moore would make a great president, a great candidate. Exactly.
And you would make a great candidate on there as well, Ms. Brown as well, because it seems like we can't prove it. We have to do further investigation, but it seems like the board is being paid off in some way.
Absolutely, and we just need more people to go to the board and alert them and let them know what's going on. You cannot be afraid. We know retaliation is true, and that's what this new administration, they put fear, but we must overcome that fear. We have to overcome, like Dr. King says, we will not live in fear, and we have to keep fighting. We have to keep fighting. Do not let Dr. King's dream die. So we're just asking everybody to join some type of activism. If you have to start your own thing, Detroit Native Son, you can call Mrs. Lockhart at any time, and she can give you some directions and help you join some of those groups out there. But we just need for you to be able to stand up at the board meetings and speak up for your children, protect your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, or just your next door neighbors. We do not want this to happen. We must stop what's going on here inside of our public school systems. Our kids deserve a great education. They deserve to go to school, not being touched physically, or even mental words that are saying to them that are harsh words that can also harm you. So we're just asking everyone. Some of the students maybe a few weeks ago, they did a walkout over at Renaissance High School, in protest of some things we're going, and we're very thankful for their activism. So we just want to instill this inside of our young people to not be afraid and to keep standing up for what's right. Just always do the right thing. When nobody's watching, you still do the right thing. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right. And they could also call Spectrum Legal Services, Attorney Michael Fortner, who has been taking the lead on bringing a lot of these cases to trial or filing lawsuits against Detroit Public Schools. And they want to deny that they have any lawsuits, but if you look it up, you'll see there's a whole list of lawsuits.
Very much so. Things that are happening as far as, once again, educational neglect. If you feel that your child is not getting the services that they're supposed to get, that's considered educational neglect. You can reach out to Attorney Michael Fortner, Michigan Department of Education. And also, if you feel that your child is being abused while they're at school, you need to also speak up to Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and along contact Michael Fortner and his legal team. They will walk you through the process, and they will make sure that your child gets the justice and that they deserve.
Right. And then there's Michael Fortner has partners that has been assisting him as well. That includes attorney in Hamtramck. His first name is Abe.
Attorney Abe, that's in Hamtramck. He also will help assist you in any way he can. He's filed some lawsuits with Detroit Public Schools, and he's doing a wonderful job as well as starting to speak up. And we have parents of all nationalities that this has happened to their students.
Right.
And some of our parents do not speak English, and some of our parents don't know what's going on. So we're asking the staff, you are a mandated reporter, you have to do the right thing, and if you don't, you can be held accountable with legal retribution also.
Right. So do you know if any of the staff or teachers are being sued by Spectrum Legal Services for being accomplices in the fact that they see what's going on, but they're not reporting it? And like you said, they could be held accountable as well.
Absolutely.
Do you know if he's pursuing that route as well, bringing them into any of the lawsuits?
I'm not sure about that, but I do know there are some staff members that have been retaliated against also, that he's also representing them. So if you are an administrator, if you're a principal, if you're a dean, and you feel that you have been mistreated for doing the right thing, for being a mandated reporter, or things that have happened, you also can reach out, the staff can reach out to Spectrum Legal Services. And it doesn't have to be just Detroit Public Schools. It could be any school system. It could be a Romulus. It could be Livonia. It could be West Bloomfield, Birmingham. Wherever that you need educational, legal help, we're there to help you along the way.
Right. So you've blown the whistle on the bad water quality,
Absolutely.
On the abuse of the kids, their physical and emotional abuse. And then lately there was an issue with mold in Moses Field School.
Yes.
And the district tried to cover that up as well, saying that there was no mold, but we got pictures of the company out there cleaning it.
Yes.
And then
they end up closing up Moses
Right.
Field. Ironically, they closed it up after the Native Sun's newspaper. So if you've had a child that went to Moses Field and they're having some symptoms of maybe some breathing symptoms or some skin problems, you might want to look into some of the legal action that can be taken there.
Right.
For just to cover up throughout the district, because there are a lot of underlining issues that are going on inside of the schools.
Yes, and make sure that their health is
Yes.
safe as well by
Absolutely.
getting them checked out. Like you said, if they have rashes or they're reacting differently, it could be an effect of part of that mold that was evidently dangerous, or they wouldn't have had to close down the school.
Mm-hmm. And not just that school, but there's other schools that are being torn down, and there's a big cover-up of things that have happened in the building with asbestos and things like that. So we're just asking the parents and the guardians that you need to be aware, talk to your children when they get home at dinner time, and find out what's going on at the schools and how was their day, did anything happen that you should be aware of. Make sure that all the students that are in the special education department, that the students' IEPs are being fulfilled, and that they're in accordance with the law. That's very important, that your
Okay.
students are getting the services that they deserve and that they need.
Okay, and if you have any students that is experiencing abuse, or you suspect abuse of your student, you could give us a call at the Detroit Native Sun at 313-457-5944, and we will investigate it on your behalf. We're not afraid to speak out like Ms. Brown, because we have been actually publishing those instances of abuse, and I know 2 of them have went to criminal court. Like I said, the one parapro was put on probation, but then she was released early, which is like a tap on the hand, which lets others know that it's okay. You're not going to be punished too severely for doing it. But we want to turn the tables again. We started out showing that you're an activist for both children and you're an activist for senior citizens. And one instance is the Ralph Bunche Cooperative, where there's a lot of senior citizens living there. Mm-hmm. And I went over to that place and took pictures showing the potholes in the streets and where the seniors would have to walk. And if you're in a wheelchair, it's not wheelchair accessible even to go to their community center.
Absolutely.
Where you have to pay your bills.
So we were called over to the Ralph Bunche. We have people that are living there, currently living there. There's no wheelchair accessibility to get into their homes. The parking lots were uneven grounds. The grass is uneven grounds. There was no lighting. People couldn't get in and out of their home. There was a lot of safety concerns, and we did some activism there. Things have changed. The city of Detroit did come out and write some citations, and things are happening. However, Ralph Bunche Cooperative is still not ADA compliant. They still do not have everything that's needed, and so therefore there will be some lawsuits taking places there against Ralph Bunche. Fair housing will be coming out, stepping in, and civil rights, because everyone deserves a great place to live. And so if you're living somewhere and it's not handicap accessible, there's no designated parking spaces, there's barriers, there's not even grounds such as at Ralph Bunche, there's a board there, they're in breach of their fiduciary duties. We need to stand up. You need to say something and do not be in fear of retribution, because basically what they're doing is retaliating and they're getting people evicted. But we need to go down to the court system and there to fight and let the judges know what is really going on. Because once you speak up about an issue, such as a pothole, a citation, and you're retaliated against, that will be called a retaliatory eviction. So if you're living somewhere you're not getting heat, it's cold outside, you need to file some complaints with Fair Housing, with the Civil Rights Department, with the City of Detroit Compliance Department. And there are people there such as Brian Bond, B-A-H-N, I believe, he's the supervisor over at the City of Detroit Building Inspections. He's been a great help to us. We appreciate him and his entire staff there. They've been very great in assisting our senior citizens and also people that just don't have accessibility to the common areas of their living conditions.
And I understand that the board should be held accountable too. When I called to get more information on it, the president, her name is Letitia, or
the president there, her name is Diamond Searcy, which she actually lives in Texas. So we're not understanding how can you be a president of a board when you're not even residing in Detroit, Michigan, the entire time. And then the Clearview management there is. They have a lady by the name of Lucretia Burgee, who is very rude, and so Clearview management.
That's who I talked to. They hung up on me.
Oh, she did. Yeah, well, she's known to be very rude to some of our senior citizens.
And I went to her office,
our members there,
to talk to her about the problems there, and she wouldn't come to the door. And then when I went there and I was taking pictures, the doors are not handicap accessible. They have to walk up steps. If you're in a wheelchair, how are you supposed to pay your bills?
Yes, you can't even get to the meetings, and that there is a discrimination there. So we just need anyone that is at Ralph Bunche or any other community. If you're not getting the services that you deserve, you need to file a complaint with the City of Detroit. We have a great mayor who's now in office, Mary Sheffield, and she has a great staff working with her. They will be able to assist you. So we have some great community partners, and that's what activism is all about, building our communities and everyone working together for the betterment of everyone.
And I was happy to see that you helped to organize the seniors. They signed a petition to hold a board meeting, but even though they had over
180 signatures, somehow Ralph Bunche did not live by their own bylaws. They then hired a legal firm which gave out notes as a scare tactic, telling people that they were not able to walk around and do petitions in this day of age. So we have one of the largest firms that sent out letters telling members there that you're not supposed to be able to rally together, which we know is not true. And we need to make sure that we hold those firms accountable also and file grievances against them with the Attorney Grievance Board. Because that's just a fear. That's also putting a fear in us. And as we know, Dr. King said that we shall overcome, we shall fight the powers that be. And we have to stand up for what's right. And let's not, put our guard down now. We've come too far.
Yeah, and the seniors, they should know about the civil rights movement since many of them grew up during that phase.
Absolutely.
So don't be intimidated by their scare tactics. Speak up. Call the newspaper. Call us at the Detroit Native Sun, again at 313-457-5944. Or you could call Attorney Fortner at Spectrum Legal Services to report any wrongdoing, because there are options. You don't have to live in a place that is not giving you quality of life. You're paying your association
charges,
fees.
absolutely.
And they're not living up to the bylaws and things. So you don't have to tolerate that type of stuff.
Absolutely not.
So there are people on your team. So Ms. Brown will be hosting a lot of our shows in the upcoming weeks to talk about the injustices being done with the Detroit Public Schools, as well as with the housing issues as well. And we will be breaking news regarding some of the injustices of these illegal evictions being rubber stamped, and the judge doesn't even know about it.
At the 36th District Court.
Right, at the 36th District Court. So I understand the federal agencies are investigating that. So we'll be breaking that news shortly, too, as soon as we get all of our ducks in a row, because we don't want to, be subject to libel or anything. We want to just put out the truth and give you all the facts as to what's going on with this illegal evictions that's going on. So people that are renting from the landlords or in these high-rise apartment buildings that have these prominent attorneys backing them, that they're paying off court officials, we're going to expose that as well, so that you'll be safe as well. But how can they reach you if they want more information regarding you running possibly for school board? I know you had thought about running. Well, I'm putting it in the universe. If they get you and Aaliyah Moore on the team, I'm sure y'all can shake some things up with the Detroit Public Schools Community District. But how can they contact you if they want more information or want to support you?
You can send an email to What's Happening Now in Education, or you can contact me at 248-904-8754, 248-904-8754.
Okay. And you could also read the Detroit Native Sun newspaper online. We have the full newspaper online. It's at www.detroitnativesunonline.com. Again, that's Detroit Native Sun Online. You can email me directly at Valerie Lockhart at Detroit Native Sun Online, or you could reach out to editor at Detroit Native Sun Online as well. And so we thank you, Katrina Brown, for coming in to talk to us about your activism on Martin Luther King Day. And we hope that you tune in to us next week for another exciting show on Expose Under the Sun.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone's reading the Detroit Native Sun, even our competitors. We've got the best writers, best coverage, and best ad rates to draw new clients to your business. Advertise with us for as little as $35. All ads include a free design and will be featured in both our print version newspaper and online. Call today for a free price quote and take advantage of our specials. When you purchase any full or half page for 2 months, we'll give you the third month free. That's right, you can reach another potential 50,000 to 100,000 clients for free. After all, three's the charm in advertising. Call today at 313-457-5944 or email us at DetroitNativeSunNews@gmail.com or visit our website at www.DetroitNativeSunOnline.com. We're waiting for your call, 313-457-5944.